What's your name?
So what's going to happen if I don't give you my name?
Then you can be under arrest.
If you are going to threaten us with physical violence, you better make sure you're willing to go all the way, because I am.
The way the law works is if the law doesn't say you can't do it, then you can do it.
If you want to lock people up for not breaking laws,
all men are created equal is the idea that if it is wrong for one man to commit an act, it is wrong for all men to commit that act. Too often, members of our government exclude themselves from the ranks of equal men referenced by Thomas Jefferson when he said.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Henry channel. Today's episode, today's live is going to be pretty short. We're going to keep it short and sweet. Obviously, today is the last day that I'm not going to be incarcerated in a state dungeon. And I want to leave you all with some words before I go. Obviously, I want to start it out by saying my court date is tomorrow, January 31st at 2:30 p.m. in Newport, Indiana. That's Vermilion County, Indiana. That's the Vermilion County Courthouse. And basically, guys, if you don't know what's going on in this case, I want you to go back and watch my last two live streams. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. In particular, the last live stream, I think I covered everything and got everybody up to date on everything. Ultimately, what's happening here is that I am going to make them make an example out of me. I'm going to show everybody through them what the state will do to you if you don't bow down to them for literally nothing, right? I've not broken any law. I've not hurt, vandalized, threatened, assaulted, nothing to anybody. Yet I've been unlawfully charged with the crime of stalking a public employee, a public official, right? I have been charged, and the material that the prosecutor has provided has admitted that the only material interactions I've had with this person, this public employee who has claimed I'm stalking her, is in the city hall, right? That's the only place that they claim we've had any material interactions, which is a public building, right? So it's known to be unlawful by the prosecution. I'm convinced the judge knows it's unlawful. Yet these people are going to bring me in to this show trial. They're going to sit me down and they're going to tell me, Mr. Hendry, we gave you every opportunity to comply with their tyranny. You know, they're going to tell me, they're going to be like, we're going to keep you real comfortable. You know, we're going to keep you real comfortable in the jail cell. That's where they're going to keep me. And that's what's going to happen, guys. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. They're going to keep me in a jail cell. I don't know how long. I don't know if a bond will be posted. I know that if a bond is posted, I'm going to ask my wonderful girlfriend, Erica, my best friend, Tyler. I've got a few other of my great friends in the community, in the community of freedom lovers that are trying to bring some more attention to this. So hopefully the word can get out what these people are doing, because a lot of people, I've seen it in the comments, have said, well, you're bringing this on yourself. You know, they gave you every opportunity. And the whole thing is, you know, that's the easy way, right? The easiest way is to blame the government, right? For all of the problems, right? If you're uneasy about something, it's much harder. It's much harder to blame the government than it is to blame a guy like me. Right? Because I can't do anything to you. Right? So it's much easier to say, oh, well, if you would just comply with our masters, then none of this would happen. Right? But the deal is that that's their masters, right? That's not my masters, right? I'm a man. I'm a free human being. And that doesn't mean that I'm free from getting kidnapped. It just means that I act of my own free will. Right? Nobody controls the way that I act, other than restraining my arms and legs and making it to where I physically can't move. And so I want to say before I go that it is scary facing the prospect of going to a jail for God knows how long. I don't know how long. I certainly don't trust the people who give the orders, right? The judge and the prosecutor and all these people. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. And these are the people who are going to be, in the end, in charge of when I get out of jail. They're going to decide whether I am released on a bond after, or they're going to decide how high the bond is, because they could set it so high that I can't get it out, right? So I do want to leave everybody with this. So hopefully we've got a few people coming to the hearing. If you're in the live stream, we've got 136 people in here. If you're in the live stream, you're following the case, and you're going to come to tomorrow's hearing, why don't you let me know in the comments? You put a 1. I don't expect there to be many, but put a 1 in the comments if you plan on coming tomorrow and seeing what they're going to do. But for anybody that doesn't plan on coming, anybody who does not know what to expect, I'd like to show you all this before I go, because there's 3 options on this this piece of paper that the judge is going to have before him tomorrow. This is a pretrial violation probable cause sheet that he's got, right? And so I'm sharing this with y'all. I want to show it to you. I want to zoom it in a little bit. So he chose this option here, everybody, the last time he had this paper before him. And this option was: the defendant is ordered to report in person to probation and shall meet with his pretrial supervision officer on January 31st, 2024 at 1:30 p.m., which is an hour before court, or prior thereto, and then report every Wednesday thereafter at 1:30, unless authorized to report otherwise by pretrial. If the defendant has already reported weekly for a month as ordered, the weekly reporting may be immediately modified by the supervising officer at the January 31st, 2024 appointment. Excuse me. All right. So that's what he chose that time. Now, this is what he's going to have in front of him tomorrow. And this, if everybody can see my mouse, this is the option he's going to have to choose if he wants to send me to jail, right? Because the whole point of a bail bond, the whole point of a release on your own recognizance, is to ensure the defendant's appearance at court. Well, I always appear at court unless another state agency has kidnapped me prior to court, right? So the first option that he would pick tomorrow if he wants to send me to jail is the Vermilion County Circuit Court will issue a warrant for the arrest of the defendant, Craig Robert Hendry, with blank bond. Who knows if that will even be filled in. The court further finds that the defendant is a threat to him and the community, and that the defendant is a possible flight risk. Now, if he chooses that, he'll know that he's lying to himself and to the public, because I'm not a threat to myself or the community. And a flight risk is quite a stretch, because I always show up at court dates. Whether I should or not, I always do. I give them that much courtesy in the very least. But guys, this is serious, right? This is my life. This is where I'm going to be. And I wonder how it's all going to end. I wonder how people are going to react, right? I wonder if people will actually just let this go over their heads, right? Go back to watching their TV and switch to the next YouTube video. Or if they'll actually let it affect them and let them say to themselves, how can I act? How can I take action in my life in order to affect the powers that be in such ways that they won't act like this anymore, right? And that's what we're really looking for. Because until we say no as a collective, they're just going to keep walking all over us, right? It's a saying, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for everything. Well, this is, I think, the thing to stand for, right? They've accused me of crimes that I didn't commit. The prosecution filed false stalking charges on me. And now the judge is violating my pretrial sentence, right? Because he sentenced me prior to any trial, which is another thing that I'm going to stand on, right? They all say that we have these rights. They say that we have a Second Amendment. I can't own a gun. They say that we have a First Amendment, but I've gotten arrested for freedom of speech. And then they say that we have a right to property and all this, but I've had $50,000 of mine stolen, and I've not been, nothing has been proven in that case, right? That case has been set out till 2025. So we don't have these rights that they claim we have until we give them no alternative but to give us those rights, right? It's either you give us the right or you do the absolute worst to me, right? You give me my liberty or you basically take my life from me, you give me death, which is essentially what incarceration is. It's a temporary death. It's saying, hey, you know, your life is put on pause. You can't see your loved ones. You can't see anybody. You can't contribute to the development of your child. You can't contribute to anybody, to anything, right? And so, guys, that's really, I wanted to come on here and show you all this and leave you all with my thoughts on it. I wish that I could be more articulate, such as some people in this movement and some people that I envy and I look up to. But I think that I don't know that there's much more than I can say other than if you're willing to support, I'd really appreciate it. The information for that is in the description below. I know that this is a fight that will continue once we're in jail. You know, when I'm in jail, I will not allow incarceration to bog me down. I'm a warrior. I'm a mental warrior. I don't succumb to this mental torture that they try to impose on me. I keep a smile on my face despite myself the entire time. And it kills them every day. But the deal is, guys, is that this is a level 6 felony. It carries a maximum of 2.5 years in prison. And I've done 1 day so far. We'll see how many more they have me do. They might keep me in there for the maximum sentence. And that's a very real possibility that they keep me in there for the maximum sentence. You know, even awaiting trial, right? Because these people do what they want. Even if they were to keep me in jail longer, people will say, well, they can't do that. They can't do that. Well, they're not supposed to be able to file false criminal charges on you either. But it all takes time. It all takes time. And in the time that it takes to appeal these decisions, in the time that it takes to get justice, you are incarcerated. Your freedom is being stolen. It has been stolen. It's really one of the worst situations in the world. And I want to take some time. I didn't see this. I haven't been reading the chat. At 8:20, Gem City News sent $20. I see Who Dat Accountability sent money on Cash App. I appreciate that, guys. I really do. So, guys, I also want to say tomorrow, it's not just a me going to jail hearing. There's going to be a motion to dismiss hearing. And I put together this motion to dismiss. Who Dat Accountability, that would be helpful, man. I like Leroy Truth a lot, man. Get him out there. But yeah, so basically it's a motion to dismiss hearing. I put together a 6 or 7 page motion to dismiss. The motion details that even if all of the state's alleged story is true, that even that alleged story doesn't satisfy any of the necessary elements of this crime. So, you know, and I'm not even one to believe that you know, I'd like to say it in a much more blatant way that this is absolute nonsense, but it's court, and I put together this long document, and we'll see. You know, we'll see how it goes at court. The lawyer's going to have to argue it. If she's not able to argue it, then I'll argue it on my own behalf because I am the person that put it together. I think that if anybody's qualified to argue that motion, it would be me. So I will have to do it. But yeah, and you know, I see a lot of haters in the comments. I don't have moderators because I really just don't care to read the comments most of the time or block commenters. But I will say, people that hate on me, it's very interesting because all I do is go out and I try my very hardest to be polite, expose corrupt individuals when I see them, and altogether just expose impolite employees of the state, right? If we're paying these people to enforce rules on us, surely we should expect them to uphold the very same rules that they swore to abide by, which is the Constitution. And so what's wrong with that? What's the problem with that? Sure, maybe I don't go about it in the way that most people like, or maybe a way that all people like, but nobody can argue that I have a right to do it. So, but it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. I think that we're going to have to stay strong through all of this. I know that I have the support. We've got 233 people in here right now. But there's thousands more that are with us and they're like-minded. And there's thousands more that don't even know about this going on. And that's something that we have to get this message out to. But it's happening to me. It's happening to a guy named For Public Safety. He runs a YouTube channel in Indiana. It's happening to a lot of people all over the country right now because the authorities will not, they're not going to take a step back, right? They're not going to let off the gas. It's pedal to the metal. And if we thought they were corrupt 5 years ago, if we thought they were corrupt 10 years ago, it's a way worse, right? It is way worse. They're much better at it. They've had a lot of practice. And it's coming to the point where we can't sustain their activities financially. We can't sustain their activities physically. It's just too harmful to us, right? A lot of people don't have food on their tables. A lot of people don't have, let's be honest, they don't even have any hope in their hearts. So what we're doing is we're going to start saying no to these tyrants. We're going to start telling them, I'm not budging. So if you want me to move, come move me. And we'll just see what they do, right? Because these people aren't a bunch of tough guys like us. These guys are a bunch of weak men that hide behind official positions and state authority. And of course, there are a ton of criminals out with the state. But we just thank God that those criminals don't have the power, resources, and endorsement of the state behind them with which they can do their evil. So we'll just keep that in mind, everybody. I'm going to face the worst kind of criminals. These kind of criminals might not be the most daring, but they certainly are the most well-resourced, and they are going to get away with it every single time. So with that being said, I said I was going to keep the live stream very short. You guys can post a number if you want. Everybody here, I hope, knows what this is about. This is about the Clinton City Hall Mayor's office. This is about the Vermilion County, Indiana Prosecutor's Office. And unfortunately, the Vermilion County Circuit Court Special Judge, Hunter Reese. So, you know what? We'll answer a few questions. If people want to have a few questions, that'll be fun. That'll be fine. I'll answer them if I see them. Blitz X Blix, who will update us if you're in jail. Tyler on Ty Reviews will update us. Erica will have access to my channel, so she will be able to update you all. And I know we've got a couple of channels running an update. So we do have a few people that are going to be updating you. So don't worry about that. So we've got update us tomorrow if you can. Yeah, I won't be able to, unfortunately, guys, because look, if I'm able to update you all tomorrow, the case will be dismissed. So I hope I'm able to update you tomorrow. What are you going to eat before court? It's a good question. I wish I would be able to tell you, but I think that the warrant will be issued prior to a court happening, so I don't want to give out my whereabouts to just anybody. But I will be eating something. I will be eating something very, very, very yummy. So, all right, everybody. Well, I see everybody saying good luck. Thank you very much, everyone. I really do appreciate it. So I hope that everyone will be looking out for an update, most likely not from me, but from somebody very close to me, someone that's my great friend. And so I hope that everybody stays safe themselves. Just say no to tyranny, guys. It's that simple. Consequences exist for everybody, but the consequences will never start to get less. These people will never start to back off until we just start saying no every time. So, yes, be safe, be well. We will see you later. Goodbye.